Ever had that familiar feeling of accidentally opening your bank statement and spotting a strange charge? $10. Again. For a service you haven't used in 6 months. It's more than just annoying. It feels like you've been ripped off. How much money are you losing every month without even realizing it? What if I told you it's not your fault, but a brilliantly engineered trap? Today we're going to expose this system and show how a single free subscription can turn into a financial black hole, draining your money while you're not looking. The pattern is always the same. You see an ad for a cool service, 7 days free. You smile, you enter your card details, just a formality. You use the service once or twice, and then months pass. You've forgotten your password for that service, but the service hasn't forgotten your card number. Another bill flies out of your account every month. Stop. The most important takeaway from this video is this: you're not forgetful. The system is designed for you to forget. This is the architecture of oblivion. In the IT industry, this is known as dark patterns, a term coined by designer Harry Brignall to describe interfaces specifically crafted to trick you. In the next 10 minutes, we'll break down the 3 main psychological tricks corporations use. We'll show how dozens of such subscriptions create a digital plankton effect that silently eats away at your budget. And at the end, I'll give you a clear 3-step protocol to find and neutralize every single one of them. The first and most powerful hook is the illusion of zero price. Our brains don't differentiate between free and safe. When we see the word free, we switch off our critical thinking. Behavioral economist Dan Ariely, in his book Predictably Irrational, called this the zero-price effect. In his experiments, people were willing to take a free, lower-quality chocolate even when a higher-quality one cost just 1 cent. The magic of the word free makes us make illogical decisions. We don't think, in 7 days I'll be charged $20. We think, I'm getting something valuable and paying nothing. Corporations know this and use it as a battering ram to breach your wallet's defenses. But getting you into the system is only half the battle. Far more important is preventing you from leaving. And for that, there's a second, even more insidious mechanism. It's called exit friction. Notice how you can subscribe with a single click. But to unsubscribe, you need to find the right page, re-enter a password you've forgotten, answer 5, why are you leaving? Questions, and sometimes even call customer support. This is the Hotel California principle from the Eagles song. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Every extra step is a barrier, designed to make you say, oh, whatever, I'll deal with it later. And that later never comes. Let's conduct an experiment. Right now, try to recall how to cancel your most recent subscription. Do you know exactly where to go on the website or app? If you don't have a clear answer in 5 seconds, you're already caught in the exit friction trap. They've won. And the third pillar holding everything up is the endowment effect. Psychologists have proven that we value something much more if we consider it ours. Nobel laureate Richard Thaler confirmed this in his famous mug experiment. Students who were simply given a mug were unwilling to sell it even for double the price compared to what students without mugs were willing to pay for it. The trial period isn't just for you to evaluate the service. It's there to make you start considering it your own. My playlists, my settings, my projects. Giving up just a service is easy. Giving up yours is psychologically painful. It's like giving back something you've already been given. This isn't theory, it's practice. To cancel an Adobe subscription, you're first shown several special offers, and then you might be charged an early termination fee for an annual plan. Some gyms require in-person cancellation or even sending a certified letter to terminate a contract. This isn't a bug, it's a feature, a business model built on your discomfort. Each of these tricks is dangerous in its own way, but the real disaster begins when they start working together, creating an invisible army that attacks your account every month. Imagine one such subscription as a single piranha. One isn't scary, but what about 10, 20, 30? Each one takes a small bite, $5 here, 10 there. You don't even notice the nips. This analogy runs deeper than it seems. We are that digital plankton, and corporations are the filter-feeding whales of the digital economy. They simply swim with their mouths open and our small automatic payments flow right in, creating a giant feeding ground. But at the end of the year, it turns out this swarm has devoured hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. This is the digital plankton effect, a multitude of small expenses that collectively create a giant hole. This isn't just a metaphor, it's cold, hard math. According to a C+R research study, the average American pays approximately $273 per month for subscriptions. Yet, when asked to guess, they estimated around $86. That difference of nearly $200 is the forgetfulness tax, money that disappears into thin air. That's over $2,200 annually, money you could invest or spend on a vacation. Now let's look at this through the eyes of a corporation. They have a metric, MRR, monthly recurring revenue. It's their holy grail. Every client who forgets to unsubscribe is stable, predictable income. In business, there's even a special term for this, breakage. It's the revenue from non-usage. It's the profit a company makes from paid but unused services. They don't want you to actively use the service. They just want you to pay. Your inattention is their most profitable revenue stream. To them, you're not a client. You're an annuity. Recognizing the problem is the first step. But how do you find all these invisible enemies and strike back? For that, we'll need a special operation. And now, I'll give you its step-by-step plan. Operation Audit begins with reconnaissance. Your task: open the statements for all your cards for the last 3 months. Treat it like an annual medical checkup, but for your finances. This isn't about finding fault, it's about diagnosing your wallet's health. Don't just skim through. Grab a highlighter or open a spreadsheet and mark every recurring charge. It doesn't matter if it's $2 or $50. If it's recurring, it's under suspicion. Next to each subscription, ask yourself 3 questions and answer honestly. First, did I actively use this last month? Not could have used, but did use. Second, does this expense bring me measurable benefit or joy? Here, apply the Marie Kondo method. Ask yourself, does this subscription spark joy? If not, thank it and let it go. And third, can I get the same thing cheaper or for free? If the answer to even one question is no, that subscription is on the chopping block. At this point, your brain will start to sabotage you. What if I need it later? I already paid for the year. Canceling is such a hassle. That's not you. Those are your cognitive biases talking. What if I need it later? Is loss aversion. I already paid is the sunk cost fallacy, a trap that makes us continue a losing endeavor simply because we've already invested in it. Recognize them, call them by name, and ignore them. Your goal is financial freedom, not a digital junk drawer. This is the most crucial stage. Right now, without delay, begin the process of unsubscribing from everything that didn't pass the test. Yes, it might be inconvenient. Yes, you might have to search for the cancel button. Treat it like a video game quest where the grand prize is your own money. Every canceled service is a small victory. Every dollar reclaimed is a point in your favor. Cleaning out these Augean stables is excellent, but how do you prevent them from getting cluttered again? For that, we need a future protection system. The first layer of your armor is discipline. As soon as you sign up for any trial period, you take 2 actions. First, you enter your card details. Second, immediately, that very second, you open your calendar and set a reminder, 2 days before the charge. The name of this event should be unambiguous. Cancel Service X Subscription. Not think about it, not evaluate, but specifically, cancel. We'll call this the presumption of cancellation principle. By default, any new subscription is presumed guilty and subject to deletion until it proves its worth in the court of your budget. You shift the burden of proof from yourself to the service. If it truly turns out to be indispensable, you'll always have time to reverse the verdict. The second layer is isolation. Never use your primary debit or credit card for trial subscriptions. That's like giving a key to your apartment to every stranger you meet. Get a separate virtual card. This is your financial firewall, a digital gateway that stands between your main account and the hungry internet. Many banks and fintech services allow you to create such a card in a minute. Keep exactly 0 on it, or just the amount of a single payment. When the trial period ends, their automated system will try to make a charge and hit the brick wall of an empty account. Game over. They can't take what isn't there. And the third most powerful layer of protection, it protects not against forgetfulness, but against your main enemy, dopamine. Saw an ad for a service you really wanted. Don't subscribe. Don't click the Start Free button. Bookmark it and set a timer for 24 hours. This isn't just a delay. It's a tactical move to shift your brain from a hot, impulsive state to a cold, rational one. Marketing, flashy design, promises of a new life. All of it is designed for an instantaneous emotional reaction. To strike while the iron is hot. Let it cool. If after a day, you're still convinced that this service is vital to you, and not just a pretty toy, then act. In 90% of cases, you won't even remember it. The desire will vanish along with the dopamine surge. These three rules, the calendar, the virtual card, and the 24-hour pause, are not just tips. They are your new operating system. A system that, by default, protects against impulse and oblivion. So, let's recap. The war against parasite subscriptions isn't a one-time event. It's a new habit. Your financial hygiene protocol is simple. First, monthly audit. On the first of every month, a 5-minute statement check. Second, calendar safeguard. Any trial means an immediate calendar entry based on the presumption of cancellation principle. Third, virtual card shield. Use a financial firewall between your money and their desire to take it. Now you see that it wasn't about your forgetfulness. You see the system, its mechanisms, and you know how to counteract it. You are no longer a victim of circumstances, but a person who controls their finances. Every canceled subscription is not just money saved, it's an act of reclaiming control for yourself. And finally, I want to ask you the most important question. Do you think this problem is primarily a result of our own inattention, which we need to combat? Or is it a brilliantly conceived and unethical system of deception on the part of corporations? Write just one word in the comments: inattention or system. Let's see which one is more prevalent.